to the White House. President Trump meets with governors today. They're going to discuss school safety and probably a degree of gun control. Joining us now is Raj Shah, White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary. The president seems to want to, is talking about banning bump stocks, arming trained teachers, raising the minimum age to buy a rifle. He's talking about all of the above. Is that correct, Raj?
Stuart, thanks a lot for having me on. Yeah, he is talking about those issues. He's also talking about improving the background check system so that way more information, more streams of information are made available to people who are making background checks. We're looking at school safety as a holistic issue. You mentioned arming teachers. We're talking about hardening school facilities so that way teachers and other employees on campus could have access to a concealed weapon. Trained individuals could deter attacks. He's also talked about, and he's actually ordered the Department of Justice to pursue a rule that would ban the sale of new bump stocks. So the president is looking at this from several angles. We believe that the best approach is to find a way in which we can prevent individuals who are troubled or dangerous from acquiring any weapon rather than banning whole classes of weapons for all individuals.
How is the president going to handle the news reports which we're now receiving, and we've received them over the weekend and again this Monday morning, of a breakdown among law enforcement officials on the scene but not inside the school? How does the president handle that?
Well, it's a serious breakdown. I think that each community, each law enforcement agency from the federal, state, and local level in this instance clearly showed a breakdown. And we need to address that with some accountability, some real action about how we prevent these types of things from happening in the future. The other thing that we need to do is establish best practices going forward. But again, the focus from our perspective is to create an environment in which troubled individuals who are identified as dangers to public safety, dangers to themselves or their communities, are prevented from owning any firearms.
Now, a lot of governors will be meeting with the president today.
That's right.
Some of them come from states where they don't have a great deal of money. To say that they're insolvent or flat broke is a bit of an exaggeration, but they don't have much money. How are they, those states which are in tight financial conditions, how are they going to pony up some money to match federal money for infrastructure projects?
Well, Stuart, thanks for bringing that up. Currently, states and local communities pay for about 80% of infrastructure funding. The federal role in this is still pretty limited. What we want to do is give these communities more bang for their buck. We want to make sure that we streamline the permitting process, we reduce regulations so that way they can afford to build more for less. We also want them to have more local control over these infrastructure projects. And then you mentioned some states in rural communities, we have certain funds set aside specifically for rural communities, for rural broadband. So the president is looking at this holistically. He has an approach that leverages $200 billion in federal money for $1.5 trillion in state, local, and private investment. We believe that the money is there with the right approach that state and local communities are going to want to get involved.
Raj, thank you very much for joining us, sir. We appreciate it. We'll probably hear from the president a bit later on this morning during the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.